Over the years in sports, teams often gather together to align thoughts, discuss actions, and help one another overcome the effects of resistance. Similar to this method of communication used in sports is one of the most powerful tools used in a lean strategy, the huddle. Well, my name is Cameron Hansen, and I would like to welcome you to this lecture on huddles. Using a brief, in-person, scheduled huddle with relevant team members can help ensure you have an efficient day while giving you the opportunity to support upstream and downstream team members. In this lecture, you will learn what a huddle is, why every organization should use huddles, and we will share with you a simple process that you can use to begin performing huddles right away. Let's get started here with a definition that will answer our first lecture objective by answering the question, what is a huddle? Formally defined, a huddle is an action by a team to strategize, support, and motivate one another towards accomplishing or aligning objectives and goals. The huddle is typically held before an activity begins. Some examples might be before a workday, project, or task begins. As we noted in the definition, this powerful tool used for communication helps prepare and guide teams towards their objectives, ultimately achieving a sense of alignment between group members. One important thing to note is that a daily huddle, stand-up, or scrum, as it's often referred to in other strategies, is not the same as a meeting. The daily huddle is a routine that should happen every single day and is structured specifically for the organization to achieve alignment, strengthen communication, and give team members an opportunity to prepare and plan for things to come. So why is the huddle such a powerful tool for you to have in your lean arsenal? Well, first and foremost, the huddle is quite universal and, like many different improvement tools, can be used almost anywhere. They can last anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, and everyone from the shop floor worker to the owner of the organization themselves can be a part of a huddle. This meeting of the minds is a great time to align the team's activities in a unified direction. In fact, the simple idea that people are coming together for the purpose of alignment and communication can have a significant impact on the established behaviors and culture of an organization. Communication becomes more and more transparent as time goes on. Personalities get to know and learn from each other, and people can find support in a group of great minds. It's been proven throughout time that the best method of communication is still eye contact and conversation. The huddle gives everyone an opportunity to do just that. With established guidelines and a little observation of behavior, a huddle can become a place where people feel empowered, special, and heard. Before we move on, let's stop for a few minutes and answer the following questions, which you'll see here on the screen. If you are going to begin performing huddles in your organization tomorrow, what 3 topics would you feel are most important for your team to address in a 5 to 20-minute time period? And what type of format would you use to conduct that huddle? What we mean specifically by format is how many people, is there a leader, where would the team meet, what tools might the team need? Your format will in large part be very specific to your organization and experience, so let your mind stretch and be creative when you come up with these innovative ideas. But don't worry, when we get back, we will share with you a process that you can use to get your huddle started. See you back here in a few minutes. You have answered a lot of mind-stretching questions throughout this course, and I'm quite certain that you're quickly developing into a great lean leader. Before we jump into a general format for conducting huddles, I'd like to quickly share with you 3 important things you'll want to keep in mind as you develop your daily huddles. There will certainly be times when you need to pull team members together to realign in what is referred to as random huddles. The more you can establish a routine, the more you and your team members will get out of your huddle experience. Let's look at 3 important tactics that you can use to help ensure you are getting the most out of your huddles. Number 1. Give everyone who should be there a reason to be there. Here are 3 suggestions that will help you do this: relationships, responsibility, and assignment. One way that you can ensure everyone is at the huddle is to establish the right culture. Make your huddles inviting to all parties and all different personality types. This may mean establishing some ground rules for the group and taking regular suggestions from each of the participants to keep them involved. Doing this will allow team members to let their personalities shine and develop healthy and trusting relationships with other members of their team. Second, responsibility. Responsibility is another great motivator for any human being. For instance, your huddle will be much better organized if a leader or a facilitator is established ahead of time. One way to do this is to rotate the leadership role amongst all of your team members. This gives everyone the opportunity to lead and helps everyone better understand how their teammates both lead and follow as they serve one another in different levels of responsibility. The leadership role can evolve as time goes on, but in general, a leader should ensure that everyone gathers together at the correct location and the huddle begins and ends on time. Maybe even more important than the place and time is that leaders should do their best to establish a spirit of sharing amongst team members. Each member of the huddle should have an opportunity to talk or contribute if they would like to. You can use the parking lot section of the Huddle template available in this lecture to help keep huddles on topic while still validating each member's contributions no matter what the size. Another very handy tool we have included in this lecture for you to use is the Huddle checklist. Feelings, emotions, and topics can naturally become more organic as time goes on throughout your huddle journey. The checklist, or huddle board, can be used to help guide topics and follow a standard format. Remember, just because the checklist or the huddle board that you are using is a standard format does not mean it can't be reviewed and improve the items on the board or list as time goes on. In fact, quite the opposite, team members should regularly collect feedback, review, and improve the format of daily huddles. Number 2, be consistent. Establishing a routine for your huddles will help everyone get on board much quicker. Try to establish a standard time for huddles if possible. If your huddle situation does not allow for a standard time, you may want to think about establishing a scheduler who can help coordinate schedules for each of the daily huddles. Team members should know before each day when the huddle will begin and when the huddle will end. Remember, the huddle is between 5 and 20 minutes, with 10 to 15 minutes being the ideal range. This will definitely take some getting used to, but as time evolves and leaders learn to use parking lots, checklists, and huddle boards, your huddle will become a powerful tool that everyone will want to be a part of. The third and final piece of the puzzle is to innovate and improve your process regularly. Like Lean, as a strategy, huddles can regularly be reviewed for improvements. Team members can be coached, trained, and mentored to better help them develop their skills in huddles and facilitate when the opportunity comes. We're now ready to share with you a process you can use to begin conducting daily huddles on your own. We call it Huddle. After the team has gathered together and it's time to begin, the leader can kick off the huddle with happy thoughts. It's always best to begin any type of gathering on a positive note. This can be open-ended and doesn't necessarily have to focus on anything specific. Just be sure to start the huddle in a positive way. Injecting your team with a dose of energy will surely help you get off on the right foot. Some suggestions you may want to consider using to start your huddle are icebreakers, quick games, asking open-ended questions, or discussing something the group is excited about. Be sure to give any new faces or visitors to the group an opportunity to introduce themselves to others so that fellowshipping can begin right from the start. Next, the huddle leader can move on to phase 2, understand. This critical second stage of the huddle helps everyone on the team understand how performance is going by sharing key metrics of the team's performance. One tool that you can use to help track and organize key performance indicators is a dashboard. Be sure that there is a general sense of consensus with the KPIs that your team will be using. Additionally, you'll want to track the key performance indicators to ensure that the direction they are driving the team in aligns with the objectives of the group. An example is shown in the Excel checklist and is also included in the example huddle board on your slides. As a side note, oftentimes organizations will have the huddle leader use a checklist while teams review the information on a huddle board, so you may want to consider implementing both the checklist and the huddle board. You can find more information on huddle boards in your slides. After the huddle leader has finished sharing key metrics with the group, they can then move on to discussion around what has been done. In this quick period of time, team members share with the group what they accomplished the day before or since the last team huddle. You can use fun tools like a ball, cue card, or other creative techniques to help remind everyone whose turn it is to share. After everyone has had an opportunity to share what they have accomplished, now it's time to share what you are doing. Each team member will then tell the group what their focus will be during the day. Essentially, this is a quick outline or summary of each member's plan for the day. Here, each member of the team summarizes what they need to do during the day to be successful. Once every member of the team has shared their focus, it's then time for leverage. No, we don't mean push them until they get to the point where they committed to. We mean ask the group if there is anything that anybody is stuck on. As a group, oftentimes issues can be resolved quickly, or the proper level of authority can provide guidance and support that will assist team members in removing bottlenecks and barriers. Finally, before the team parts, share a bit of education and excitement with everyone. A recent project success that gets spotlighted, a tip of the day, or even just a fun cheer that sends everyone off to work on their responsibilities excited and full of energy can be very empowering. Well, that concludes this lecture on lean huddles. Remember that although huddles can be held anywhere, it may be beneficial to use both a huddle checklist and a huddle board. If teams have a huddle board available to them, the experience is much more visual and communication can become more transparent. Anybody in the entire organization can walk by at any time and see updates, monitor progress, and most important, support one another. Here is one example of a huddle board. Teams can form their boards to meet their specific requirements. This example shows a general format for building your own huddle board and how you can use it with the huddle process we just shared. Be sure to review your slides as they will provide more detail on huddle boards and recommend a few helpful supplies you might need to get. One more thing before we wrap up. In your slides is a huddle assignment. I know, another assignment. But this will be a fun one that you can do with others. So please be sure to read through the slides and complete the assignment. We look forward to seeing all the fun you're going to have on this project. Until next time, my friends, keep on improving, and we will keep on giving you solutions that ignite your power.